This story is set in France, inside a small butcher shop run by a couple named Sophie Pascal and Vincent Pascal. They sell a very special kind of meat, so delicious that anyone who tastes it once can never forget the flavor. The demand is insane. People stand in long lines for hours, sometimes all day, just to buy it. But here's the shocking truth. This meat does not come from any animal. It comes from humans. Yes, you heard that right. Sophie and Vincent secretly kill people and sell their flesh as meat. And the most disturbing part? Their customers have no idea. To hide the truth, the couple tells everyone that this is a rare Iranian pig meat prepared using a secret traditional method that's almost impossible to find anywhere else. Now the question is, what happened in their lives that pushed them this far? How did an ordinary couple turn into human meat sellers? To understand that, we go back to the beginning of the story. At the start, we see Sophie and Vincent struggling badly. Their butcher shop is almost empty, barely surviving. Only a few customers come in, and the business is close to shutting down. And that's where everything begins to change. Their situation is so bad that they can't even cover their monthly expenses. And Sophie is extremely worried about it. One day, while the couple is at their shop, a group of vegetarian activists suddenly storm in and start vandalizing the place. These people hate anyone who sells or eats meat and call themselves vegans. Vincent manages to grab one of them, but the others attack him, beat him badly, and drag their friend away. As if their failing business wasn't enough, now this disaster makes things even worse. The next day, Vincent visits his friend Mark, who also owns a butcher shop. But unlike Vincent, Mark is doing very well. He's making a lot of money and even shows it off, trying to make Vincent and Sophie feel embarrassed. Sophie doesn't like this at all. While walking back, Sophie tells Vincent to look at Mark. He runs the same kind of shop, yet his life is comfortable while theirs is falling apart. She then says she can't stay with Vincent anymore and talks about leaving him. This makes Vincent extremely angry. At that moment, Vincent notices one of the vegan activists who had attacked their shop earlier. Blinded by rage, Vincent hits him with his car and then runs over him again. At first, he thinks the man is just injured, but when he steps out of the car, he realizes the truth. The man is dead. Seeing the dead body, Vincent completely panics and immediately tries to call the police. But Sophie stops him and explains that he has committed murder, and if the police find out, he will spend his life in prison. Vincent asks, "Then what are we supposed to do?" Sophie calmly suggests that they cut the body into small pieces and get rid of it, saying she learned this by watching a TV show about a serial killer. Vincent doesn't want to do it, but to save himself, he has no choice. They return home, and with a heavy heart, Vincent gathers the courage and cuts the body into pieces. Later that night, exhausted, he goes to sleep. The next morning, Vincent wakes up and realizes that the ground meat is gone. Shocked, he asks Sophie about it. Sophie casually tells him, "I sold that meat to a customer." Vincent is stunned. He never imagined his wife would actually sell human meat. Before he can say anything else, the same customer Sophie sold the meat to suddenly walks into the shop. The customer tells them that the meat she bought earlier tasted absolutely incredible. She says she has never eaten anything that delicious in her entire life and wants more of it. Then she asks, "By the way, what kind of meat was it?" Vincent panics for a moment, but quickly covers up and says it's rare Iranian pork meat, something that's extremely hard to find. Satisfied with the answer, the woman buys more meat and leaves. After she's gone, Vincent starts arguing with Sophie. He angrily asks why she would ever sell human meat. Sophie explains that when she checked the shop, their regular pork meat was already finished. She had nothing else to sell, and since they barely get any customers, she didn't want to let one walk away empty-handed. Vincent is still unhappy with her decision. Just then, another customer walks in and asks for the same Iranian pork meat that a woman had just bought earlier, saying he loved the taste. And after that, more and more customers start showing up. Soon, their shop is filled with people asking for that same special meat. Within no time, the special meat is completely sold out. That day, they make more money than ever before. Later that night, Vincent decides to try the meat himself. He wants to know what makes people so obsessed with it. The moment he tastes it, he is shocked. It's the best meat he has ever eaten in his life. Just then, Sophie joins him and reveals a disturbing truth. She tells Vincent that the meat came from a vegan activist. She suggests that if they keep killing vegans and selling their meat, they'll become rich very quickly, and in her twisted logic, even reduce the number of vegans in the world. Vincent immediately refuses. He says what happened was an accident, and he doesn't want to become a criminal. He tells Sophie to forget this idea. The next day, their daughter Chloe visits with her boyfriend Lucas. After hours of hard work, Vincent prepares a special meal for them, but just as he serves it, Lucas says, "I don't eat meat, I'm vegan." Even more shocking, Chloe has also become vegan because of him. In a single moment, Lucas ruins an entire day of Vincent's hard work. After they leave, Vincent completely loses control. His anger boils over, and he finally convinces himself that vegans should be wiped out from this world. The very next day, the couple goes looking for their first planned victim. They enter a vegan restaurant and decide to target the owner. But when the moment comes, Vincent's hands start shaking. He freezes and can't go through with it. Panic, he runs away. Vincent tells Sophie that he can't do this. Sophie calmly replies that he can, he just needs practice. The next day, they attend a vegan festival, pretending to be vegans themselves. Their goal is to find the weakest and easiest target. After searching for a while, they spot a thin, lonely young man. Vincent starts talking to him and convinces him to step aside for a private conversation. The boy agrees. They reach the car and wait for him to arrive, quietly deciding how to kill him. A few moments later, the boy shows up. Vincent hides the knife behind his back and steps forward, ready to strike. But just as Vincent is about to act, he suddenly stops because the boy is not alone. Two of his friends arrive with him. Vincent quickly hides the knife before anyone notices. The three boys explain that they are planning to attack a meat shop that night and invite Vincent and Sophie to join them. Vincent and Sophie reluctantly agree, afraid that refusing might make the boys suspicious, especially since Vincent had planned to kill one of them. When they reach the meat shop, Vincent and Sophie are shocked to discover that it belongs to Mark, Vincent's old friend and business rival. Because Mark is his competitor, Vincent feels no guilt at all. In fact, he enjoys destroying the shop. Vincent alone causes more damage than all three boys combined. The destruction fills him with a strange sense of happiness. Later, Vincent and Sophie enter a restaurant where they start arguing over everything that has happened. The argument becomes so intense that Vincent storms out, leaving Sophie behind. Soon after, a restaurant worker approaches Sophie and starts talking to her. Their conversation continues, and eventually, the worker offers to walk her home. Sophie agrees and leaves with him. When Sophie kisses the worker, she suddenly bites his lip hard, making it bleed badly. As blood pours from his mouth, Sophie calmly tells him not to worry and says her house is nearby. She offers to take him there and treat his wound. Sophie brings the injured worker home and quietly tells Vincent that he doesn't need to stress anymore. She has brought the victim straight to their house, and now Vincent just needs to kill him. But once again, Vincent freezes. He says he can't do it. Sophie then coldly tells him that if he won't kill the man, she'll sleep with him instead. She walks toward the worker, proving she's serious. This pushes Vincent over the edge. Now it's no longer about murder. It's about his pride. In a fit of rage, Vincent brutally attacks the worker and beats him to death. Afterward, Sophie and Vincent clean every drop of blood from the house. They throw the bloody clothes and the man's car into a river to erase all evidence. That night, they work together to cut up the body. The next morning, Vincent receives a call from Mark. When they visit Mark and his wife, the couple is crying. They explain that someone attacked their butcher shop the previous night, but Mark has no idea that the two people standing in front of him were also part of the attack. They act like they know nothing about the attack and pretend to be completely innocent. Just then, a police officer arrives and asks Vincent to step aside for a private talk. Vincent panics, thinking he's been caught, but that's not the case. The officer is actually there to ask about their Iranian pork meat and wants to buy some. That same day, they sell the meat to many customers, and within hours, it's completely sold out again. The craze for Iranian pork meat spreads so fast that all the nearby butcher shops are forced to shut down. Now, Vincent feels no fear at all. He starts killing people on a daily basis. He even raises the price of the meat, but the crowd doesn't shrink. People are desperate to buy it, standing in long lines for hours just to get a small piece. Their once failing business begins to grow rapidly, and the couple starts making a huge amount of money. One day, even Mark decides to try the meat. The moment he tastes it, he realizes the meat is truly unbelievable. While eating the meat, Mark suddenly feels something strange in his mouth. When he pulls it out, his wife, who used to work as a nurse, immediately recognizes it. It's a pacemaker, a medical device used for heart patients. At that moment, Vincent remembers something horrifying. One of their victims had a heart condition. This meat likely came from that same person. Vincent quickly tries to cover it up, saying it probably came from a pig, but Mark and his wife refuse to believe him. An argument breaks out, and soon it turns violent. During the fight, Vincent completely loses control and bites into Mark's cheek, tearing off a piece and chewing it. Seeing this, Mark and his wife are left in total shock. What Vincent has just done will later come back to haunt him, but he has no idea yet. Despite this, Vincent and Sophie continue their killings, selling human meat meat without hesitation. One day, they attend another vegan festival. There, Vincent notices a small child. His mind has become so twisted that just looking at the child makes him feel hungry. Disgusted with himself, Vincent decides to leave. But before he can, he runs into Lucas and his daughter Chloe. Lucas is shocked to see them at a vegan festival and questions why butchers are even there. He says that vegans are slowly being killed and he doesn't like it at all. He openly blames meat eaters and even points at Vincent and Sophie as part of the problem. After saying this, Lucas walks away, leaving Vincent deeply unsettled. Now we see one member of the same gang that helped Vincent attack Mark's shop. He discovers that Vincent and Sophie are actually non-vegetarians, even though they pretended to be vegans around him. This realization deeply upsets him. Later that night, while Vincent is cutting meat in the shop, a police officer suddenly shows up. The officer says he wants to see how Vincent prepares the famous Iranian pork meat and walks inside. At that exact moment, Vincent's dog runs in carrying a severed human hand. Trying to stay calm, Vincent tells the officer that the Iranian pork meat will arrive the next day and that it's currently out of stock. Luckily, the officer doesn't notice the hand and leaves. Vincent narrowly escapes being exposed. A short while later, Lucas comes to their house. He apologizes for how he behaved at the vegan festival and explains that he's extremely worried because several of his vegan friends have gone missing. Sophie quietly tells Vincent that Lucas should be their next victim. Vincent is shocked. He realizes Sophie has completely lost her mind and crossed every possible line. Without hesitation, Vincent forces Lucas out of the house. Angrily, Sophie turns to Vincent and says, "What did you just do? He was home delivery for us." Vincent finally says, "Enough is enough. I'm done with all this." The next morning, he announces to everyone that the Iranian pork meat is finished and will never come back, claiming that exports have been stopped. The customers are extremely disappointed, especially after waiting in long lines for hours. After saying this, Vincent leaves the shop, leaving Sophie alone. While Sophie is alone, the same 3 vegan activists arrive. They kidnap her and take her away, furious because Vincent and Sophie had pretended to be vegans. They tell her that pretending to be vegan is a serious crime and that she must be punished. When Vincent returns, he senses something is wrong. Inside the shop, he finds the activists holding Sophie hostage. Vincent's dog attacks one of them, and Vincent quickly kills another. The last activist fights Vincent and manages to hang him on a hook, leaving Vincent badly injured. Just when it looks like the end, Sophie frees herself and throws a hook at the activist, killing him. In the final scene, we learn that Mark and his wife had already informed the police, saying they suspected Vincent and Sophie. After a full investigation, the truth comes out. Vincent and Sophie are arrested and found guilty of 30 murders committed together. Both are sentenced to death, and with that, the movie comes to an end. This video is for entertainment and storytelling purposes only. All characters and events are fictional. Violence shown or described is not promoted or supported. If this story kept you hooked till the end, hit the subscribe button because the next story will be even crazier